So this is actually my 4th air mouse, and what I have here is just for, comparative consideration, are my other 2 top favorites. Now my 4th one was an F10, F10 model. I forget the branding, but the model was F10, and I got rid of that because, not due to its functionality, it worked just fine as an air mouse. It's just, it had a terrible design execution. I mean, it was one of those what were they thinking type of things. They made the remote like sharply angled at the ends, so when you held it, these angles, these corners, just scraped and dug into your palm. It was like awful. So I got rid of that one, but I have here the C120, the C120 model. The particular branding on this one is Link C, and it's my oldest and frankly my most often used one. And then I have the Minix Lite here, which I like a lot, but it is huge. And then we have the Mini i13. Now they all have their own distinct advantages that over others, yet at the same time distinct wonkiness, I guess you can call it. Now the C120, giving you an idea, the reason why I use this the most is because as an air mouse, I do have to flip it over to use the keyboard, but it's for simple air mouse control. It works, and as soon as I flip it over, it stops the cursor. I don't have to hit any buttons. I'm like flip it, it stops, use the keyboard. However, the keyboard design, is wonky, and they actually, I guess due to sizing constraints, they put the O and P down at the bottom here, and that does throw me off. That does throw me off. So like I said, distinct disadvantage, but it still is the one I probably have used the most, and so it's my oldest though, simply because very simple controls. I mean, it doesn't offer that much in options, but it works just for air mouse controls, and then it does automatically stop. The Minix Lite does not automatically stop, and it is also huge. So air mouse, and you have to remember to manually lock the mouse cursor down before flipping it over, otherwise the mouse keeps moving. And like I said, it is large, it is heavy, it's a lot heavier than this one. That is because this actually has a double A battery on each end. So it does have replaceable batteries, which is a positive in itself, and the keyboard is a lot larger, it's easy to see. However, to use the numbers and all that is an FN key thing. But it does give more robust optional controls, even though it's mainly geared towards Android. And it has a nice feel. Now we have the Mini i13, and they actually, it's the keyboard and the mouse functions are on the same side. So there's actually no flipping back and forth. That's because on the other side you have your multi-function setup, which is pretty cool in itself. Now I'll just say on the side, I couldn't care less for the whole internal speaker thing. You'll have to just take that under your own consideration. I could not, it could be there, it could not be there, it wouldn't impact my opinion whatsoever. So I'll just leave that to the side, but I do find the combination of taking over my TV remote and then having air mouse keyboard, it's perfect for Kodi streaming. Kodi, which used to be known as XMBC, there's all manner of Android boxes on the market, and it works a treat for those. Absolute treat. Because your air mouse, you don't have to do any flipping or anything like that. You just simply type your search or what have you right there. And it's a small thing, but it's something that really does, something I really do like. It's basically a full keypad. You have all your numbers right there, and there's no FN or shifting or anything like that. You just type, number, type, number. It cuts down on that one extra having, just type number. And all the keys are, generally speaking, in the expected places. There's no such thing as having O and P stuck down here or having the delete over on this side. And everything is pretty much where you expect it to be, including some media controls that are controlled by the FN key, but in a typical manner, unlike the Minix here where it's all FN key, where if it's FM whether you want the special characters down here or the numbers up here. It's simply Shift 2 for the ampersand type of thing. Well, I should say the at symbol, ampersand being number 3. So it's more of a general, what you would expect kind of placement for the keyboard. So bang on for that. As an aside, all these wireless air mice, they do not work per se on the PS4. I always try. Even though I don't expect them, nor do I detract for them not. But one of these days I hope to find an air mouse that just magically works on the PS4. However, they all plug in as keyboard inputs. Yes, so you can use these as PS4 keyboards. It's just you won't get any air mouse control. Then this leads to another subtle aspect of you can generally use, if you have cursor control, you can generally use the cursor control to at least move around on the PS4. So like if you're going through your main lineup there, you can use the cursor keys and then down, and then use the enter key as if you were pushing the button. So they do work as that. However, the Aerominix, the cursor keys kind of off and on half the time work on the PS4 for navigating the menus. This one worked no problem fluidly. I went and plugged it in my PS4. No, the air mouse didn't work, but I was able to navigate, hit enter, type, hit enter, that sort of thing with the cursor keys. So just as an aside, this actually worked far better than the Aerominix being plugged into the PS4, but it is certainly far better suited for Android boxes, especially with that 201. Now, I do have to comment though, this is something that drives me nuts. I want to knock on the noggin whoever makes these design decisions. Why are you going to make something that is held and used by the human hand a shiny black surface? I mean, really, who thinks of these things? At least Aerominix got it right. It's, a matte black, but you got these shiny surfaces that basically just looks awful because it's going to get smeared by the, human hand. It's, I wish whoever makes up these decisions would suddenly realize, you know what, that's just going, as soon as you pull out of the box and use it for like a minute, it's going to look awful. Just because of all the little hand smears and fingerprint boogers and what have you. Just stop making these handheld devices shiny, glossy black. It's ridiculous. All right, rant over. It is actually a nice keyboard combo for Airboxes. Now, if I had to choose between the three to work with my Android Stream box, it would actually be this one, number one. Even though this is the one I've used the most, I've used this actually with my PC, with my personal computer plugged in. This Aerominix is actually just kind of sitting on the side as a spare, but it works well as, with no problems. But I have to say, between the two, because this one is extremely sensitive on those Android boxes. I mean, a small twitch and the cursor is like playing like high-speed Pong or something. That's why it's sitting on the side, because it works very well, it looks nice, feels good, but it's just a bit too sensitive on the Android boxes. This one is just all in all best suited, bang on. It is rechargeable. Mini USB. This one's also rechargeable. Micro USB. A long duration life. Whereas this one's battery fed. They all have their little idiosyncrasies, their advantages, their pluses, and their drawbacks. Overall, though, this is pretty solidly built. I refuse to comment on the whole microphone thing, but I have absolute zero need for such a thing. So take it as it is, just for your consideration, to see what's out there on the market, see what best suits your desires and your needs. You guys have yourself a great one.